Have you ever recorded one of your original songs and then gone back and listened to the original voice memo of when you wrote the song and felt like that voice memo was closer to the essence than the polished, produced version? Me too. Some of my all-time favorite songs are these voice note captures where it's just one moment being captured, one full performance of a song. In this video, I want to break down why I think those resonate more than a produced, polished version, and why I think the imperfections are only getting more valuable in today's music world. I also want to look at what makes an emotionally resonant performance and how we can maximize the emotional response in our music. With AI music being a thing now, anybody can create a perfect recording. I think in this way, we will yearn more and more for imperfections in humanity. So a recording captured in an untreated space with an imperfect performance, with the dog in the background making noise and creaks and croaks of the floorboards, I think we'll yearn more than ever for these imperfect qualities. One of my favorite examples of an amazing voice memo recording is Jacob Collier's song, "The Sun Is in Your Eyes." There's something so captivating about just him and the guitar. I took this home recording for the singer-songwriter course by Philip Weinrobe, who produced Adrienne Lenker's solo records. And he talks about this image of recording mountain. So recording mountain, at the top of it, the sun is the listener's emotion. This is our primary objective, is to create the most emotional response in the listener. And recording mountain is an image to show the primary prioritization of importance in the elements of recording. So at the bottom, we have the capture, which is how it's recorded. It's the gear used, the mic, the studios, and this is actually the least important aspect of recording. In the middle, we have the song, which is the second most important aspect. And at the very top, we have the performance, which is where the primary emotional response comes from. So this means that if we have an amazing performance, but it's recorded by our iPhone, it still can feel amazing. But if we have the worst performance recorded with the best gear in the best studio, it won't emotionally connect, which is so interesting. Even if the song isn't great, but the performance is very moving, it will move us. So going back to why the voice memo is so emotionally resonant, I think it's a few things. For one, the feelings are so fresh. Right after we write the song, we usually record that memo so that we can remember the song. And so you're in the same emotional state that you wrote it in when you record it. Because of this, more emotional resonance comes through of what you're really feeling, what the song is really expressing. The second is that imperfections equal humanity. We don't resonate with perfection, we resonate with humanity. So the imperfections are actually relieving to us as a listener to hear something human, not perfectly polished and auto-tuned. And when the note goes out of tune, we actually connect with it more and we say, oh, that's real. He's a real person. They're a real artist. Also, these slight mistakes all add to the humanity. Rick Rubin has a great quote and he says, "Mistakes breathe humanity into the work." Something like that. We want to feel something when we're listening to music, and these imperfect takes create a stronger emotional resonance. So if we want to maximize this magic in our own recordings, what can we do? Of course, we could just release the voice memo, and that would work great. But I think it's even better if we can combine a great performance with a great capture and a great song. First thing that I've integrated, learned from Philip Weinrobe, who I shared about earlier, is to record in full takes, even when it's the professional studio version. Sit down and perform the song in full. And Phil talks about something called the Enzo field, which is the field created by one full stroke. The Enzo field is this Zen drawing where they use one brush stroke to create a work of art. And there's something that happens when it's one stroke or one recording. It becomes this moment, this unified whole, which contains the fullness of the energy of that work. When you cut up your recordings and piece them together, each cut is a puncture in this Enzo field. It leaks some of that energy of the pristine moment that it captured. So by recording in full takes, we capture this essence. The challenge with this is our perfectionism comes in, and we hear that voice crack or that breath, and we say, oh, let's remove that. But in truth, that's where the emotional resonance comes from. So this shift happens where you start leaning into the imperfections and the humanity, and you record for that to capture the emotional performance. I've been wanting to release a voice memo recording for so long, but I haven't done it yet. So I want to ask you, would you be down to join me in a challenge to record and release a voice memo performance of a song? I think it could be really fun. I'll do it if you do it.